This conversation is sponsored by Fred J. Miller Incorporated, found at fjminc.com. Hi, everybody. This is Tim Hinton from Marching Arts Education and the Marching Roundtable podcast. We have a great story that you are going to love listening to. We all want every band student to get to participate. Let me say hello to everybody that's here from Miamisburg High School in Miamisburg, Ohio. Steve Aylward, how are you?
Doing great, Tim.
Thanks for being here. And also on the line, Stephanie Pressel and Diane Pressel. How are you guys doing?
Great, great.
So glad that you guys are here. So, Steve, why don't you tell us the story of this special student and how you've been able to involve her in the band program?
Well, first, I've known Stephanie's mom, Diane, for well over a decade now. We've worked together. Diane's a teacher at our middle school. We've also had Stephanie's older sister, Jennifer, went through our color guard program, our world famous color guard program, and is one of the best performers we've ever had. Just aged out with the Boston Crusaders, as a matter of fact. So I've been blessed to know the Pressel family for a very long time. So I've known Stephanie since she was easily in elementary school, probably even before that. And ever since I've known Stephanie, I think anybody who ever meets her is blessed to know Stephanie. She's really one of the most extraordinary people I've ever met in my life. And she brightens everybody's day every single time you meet her. So we've known Stephanie for a very long time.
So Stephanie, let me ask you a question. First off, you grew up around the band, your sister in the color guard. So did you always think, like, I want to be a part of this too?
Yeah.
And you did some spinning of flags in addition to what you're doing now, is that right?
Yeah.
So Diane, I know that Stephanie is in a multidisability classroom. So why don't you tell us about that?
Okay, she's in a multidisability classroom, as you said, at the high school. And she has cerebral palsy, she has hearing loss, and she has speech apraxia. She has some intellectual disability. And she also has what's called stereotypies, which means they kind of random movements at different times. So depending on if she's oversensitized or anything like that.
Okay, very good. So Steve, of course, said you knew Stephanie from her, you loved her, you wanted her to be a part of the band. So how did you guys decide to tackle making sure she could be included?
Well, it started from the very beginning. We started band in 6th grade, and even when we were deciding what instrument to play, we figured out it would probably be easiest to accommodate Stephanie if we could kind of steer her towards the percussion section. Obviously, we'd accommodate anything that she needed, but it's been a lot easier to do that. We can really customize her experience in a lot simpler terms with her being in the percussion section. During school, every year that Stephanie's been in band, we were actually able to get a student assistant from, another grade or from outside the student body. So, for example, when Stephanie was in 6th grade, there was an 8th grade band member who had a free period during the time when Stephanie had band, who came to band with her every day. And the same thing in 7th grade. And then in 8th grade, the other percussionist kind of helped her out. And now that she's at the high school, we have a couple of seniors who had a free period during Stephanie's concert band class, because she has band every single day as part of one of our concert bands, and they sit with her and help her get set up and help her follow along with her music and really kind of help her out. And they also just kind of keep her company and make sure she's having a good day and just make sure she has a great experience every single day.
It's wonderful. So Stephanie, drummers are cool. You're one of the cool kids now that do you feel that way since you're now in the percussion section?
Yeah.
So what's one of the fun things that you get to do as a percussionist? Like, is there a certain instrument that you think is really fun to get to play?
What do you play? Drum. What else do you play? What do you play in the marching band?
Rhythm.
The chimes.
Yeah.
Play chimes. And what else?
Table.
Cymbals. Suspended cymbals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have like a whole setup for you, and you get to play a number of different things.
Yeah, she basically has her own little rack setup, like Stephanie's little rack setup. She has.
I love it. That's pretty cool. I never had a rack setup that I got to play in marching band. That sounds really fun. So Diane, everybody's obviously been very accommodating. Obviously, everybody loves Stephanie. So how does that feel to you to know that she gets to be included in this way?
It's amazing to me. I'm going to start tearing up here. The band staff is awesome. As Mr. Aylward said, from day one, they wanted her and accommodated her. I mean, I'll never forget the time he walked over to me and said, "Is she signed up for sixth grade band?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Good, because I want her out on that field." And that to me was the biggest thing, because a lot of times special needs kids are not included, but the band program does an excellent job of doing that and making her feel so welcome. And it's the staff and the students and it's everyone. And those students are they're looking at the band staff and seeing how they're accepting Stephanie and they're following the lead. And it's really great, the support she gets from the staff and the students, and they love her, and they're they're doing fist bumps, and they're telling her to have a great show, and they're applauding for her and things like that. So it's really neat to see her included. A lot of times they aren't as included as we want them to be, but she really enjoys it. She loves band. That's all she talks about is marching band and band during school. So
well, Stephanie, I was the same way when I was your age. That was all I talked about too. I love band I still love band more than anything, really. I mean, look at me here. I am talking about it still. I love band and I love that you get to participate. Stephanie, do you know that you're being supported and appreciated and loved by everybody?
Yeah.
And you like the help that the staff is always willing to give you?
Yeah.
That's great. So Steve, obviously you guys have done a wonderful job of taking care of her. Did you as a staff have some conversations about how are we going to make this work and how can we best, give her a great experience?
Oh, absolutely. We actually have a new front ensemble director this year, Rachel Dellinger, and she's absolutely incredible. So that was one of the earlier conversations when we hired her over the summer, as we were mapping out the season. And we have, my partner in crime, Ryan Wintersheimer, who's our other full-time high school director, and our percussion director, Alex Beltran, and Rachel all got together, and we included Diane on the conversation. We thought it was really important for her to be involved too, so that we weren't missing anything. We all have a good understanding of Stephanie, but we also didn't, see Stephanie as much last year. She did some electronic things, some remote things electronically, but she was on remote learning last year because of COVID-19. So we wanted to make sure as she was coming back, we were all on the same page. We all knew what the accommodations were. Even simple things as little triggers that, if Stephanie's having a rough time, things that we can watch out for, some coping mechanisms that help her. Something as simple as Diane sending us a message of, if the fire alarm goes off, which is a kind of an overloads Stephanie's senses, of some coping mechanisms and things we can do with contact to help calm her down. So we were able to all get involved with those conversations. I want to make sure I don't leave out Patty Bennett. Patty's the director of the concert band Stephanie is currently in during the school day. She's also our beginning director and really helped Stephanie get started back in the 6th grade. So we really wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page. And we also talked to the leadership of our front ensemble, the senior leaders and the students that were kind of heading that up. So they knew what to expect and they knew how to help Stephanie, but they also knew when to let Stephanie do her thing and let her be responsible for her. And because that's part of this experience, we really want Stephanie to gain some independence, and she is, and she's doing an outstanding job doing that. But that all of us just kind of being on the same page helped with that.
That's wonderful. So Diane, you have been here through this whole process. You've seen her, obviously, in the color guard stuff that she was doing, and now through the band program. Have you seen, talk about like the benefits that's had for her in all the different ways that I'm sure that it's helped her?
Well, I'm seeing, as Steve talked about, independence. She has a lot more independence on wanting to do that. She's gaining more friends. She wants to be involved. She wants to be involved in the band. She wants to be involved with all the kids. And I've just seen her grow to become more outgoing. And just she's always been very outgoing, but just to see her watch in the band and watch her interact with the other students, the more typical students, is really neat for me to see.
One of the funniest stories from our band camp this summer is it was such a great experience to watch. I watched Stephanie kick her mom out of the room because she wanted to hang out with her friends without her mom there. And it was funny. And, you know, like, Mom, leave me alone. I'm hanging out with my friends. And she, you know, and I think one of the coolest things watching Diane, watching Stephanie experience is that there's going to be these moments where Stephanie's always going to be exceptional. But then there's these great moments where Stephanie isn't exceptional. And I know that sounds kind of backwards, but Stephanie just gets to be one of the kids. And, you know, that, and it's not an adaptive marching band. It's not a special need marching band. And those are wonderful. And I know there's so many outstanding programs, but she's part of the band. She's a member of the varsity team right now. And she's contributing to the varsity team in a way that I don't think a lot of students who, you know, struggle with the things she struggles with get to.
Yeah, I think I agree with that because she had been a part of the adaptive color guard, which is great program. And then there's at Miamisburg, they have a Viking adaptive athletics that they have. And she's been a part of that. And that's been great. But it's all the special needs kids together. And I think she really enjoys this because she's a part with the typical kids also. So I think that's what helps her, or what she really likes about it too.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. You know, this is one of the reasons that band is like so great, is because like everybody contributes, everybody's important, nobody's left behind, you know, like we're all in this together. And Steve, I think it's wonderful that you and your staff have, you know, done so much work and helped so much to help her just be another one of the band members. I think that's absolutely wonderful. Diane, that has to be so special and important to you and to Stephanie.
Yes, it really is. It's really neat to watch her grow because, as Mr. Aylward said, I've been to all her practices. So in case she needs to take a break, I take her and things like that. I'm there to help the staff so I can see if she's going to get overwhelmed and I take her for a walk or whatever. But I've also been helping her like count music and things like that. But what's really neat is, you know, she's not always able to count it, but she's really good at what really impressed me is she knows where musically things can go when she's listening to the entire band. So when we do a whole run through, even if she's not counting it, she knows her music, she's memorized it, but she knows musically where it goes. And that just amazes me to watch her grow like that. So it's really, really been a great experience. She knows musically where it goes, and that just amazes me to watch her grow like that. So it's really, really been a great experience. And
well, Stephanie, that means that you are just a very musical person. Have you always felt like you were musical?
Yeah, when she was a baby, she always loved music. That's the only thing that calmed her down was music, pretty much. Yeah.
I have days like that when that's the only thing that calms me down too. Like music is so important. Stephanie, do you have a favorite kind of music to listen to?
I like the Henny.
You like what?
Mila.
Oh,
Henny.
is it the play? I can't think of
Yeah,
it now.
Henny.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. Hannah?
No, Diane.
I'm sorry, honey, I'm just not sure.
No.
What else do you
I like Little Mermaid.
like? You like Little Mermaid music? What other music do you like?
Stephanie loves Disney.
Oh, me. What else do you like?
Little Mermaid.
Mhm.
I like the.
Yeah, she likes Queen, she said.
Right.
So Stephanie, you like Disney music? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Did you notice right behind me is a picture of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
My friends call me Beast. That's my nickname because I have an affinity for the Beast. So I like Disney stuff too. So I think that's very cool. And I'm a big fan of The Little Mermaid. In fact, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but look what I have right here on my desk. Hey, Mom, under the sea. I literally keep this at my desk all the time because I like The Little Mermaid so much. So Stephanie, you and I have a lot in common. We both love being in the band. We both love Disney music. And I love that you are such a great musician and that this great band program is letting you be such an important part. You know, Stephanie, do you know like how good the Miamisburg band is? Like this is a big time thing. Like everybody knows how great this band is. Do you know how important that is?
Yeah.
I mean, like you put on that uniform and you are part of a special crowd because everybody in the country knows about the Miamisburg band. You are a lucky woman, young woman, to get to be in that group. Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Steve, I think it's so fantastic what you guys have done for Diane and her whole family, and you know, accommodating for Stephanie and making her a part of your band family. What do you want to say as we're closing the conversation?
I think it's important. And well, first, let me add for anybody, if you're watching us, I know this is leading up to the Dayton Regional. If you catch us this weekend on Box 5, the beginning of our show, there are literally only 3 students that play the very beginning of our show, and one of them is Stephanie. You'll hear two students playing the synthesizer, and you will hear the wind chimes that start the entire show. And that's Stephanie, and you'll notice her. She does a really good job on that. So I want to make sure everybody, if you catch us on Box 5, we'll be on the regional this Saturday or at Grand Nationals in November. I want to make sure that everybody knows that they can listen right at the very beginning, and you'll hear Stephanie rocking her wind chimes. I want to make sure everybody knows that.
Wait a minute. So I have to ask you, Stephanie, does that make you? That would make me a little nervous. I know you're probably a lot braver than I am, but like you're thinking, wow, I'm starting this show. Does that feel exciting?
Yeah.
That is important stuff. Wow, I'm very impressed with that.
You know, you mentioned it a little bit with how much music can be for everyone. And it's one of our mantras here at Miamisburg, and is that we will work in absolutely any student that wants to be involved, and we will put them out there as part of our competitive program. And I think it's important for people to know, and audiences and directors to know, you can be competitively successful and you can still include every student, every single student. And I think that's one of the things we believe in, and it's really probably number one on our core beliefs as a program, is that we will find a way for any student that wants to participate. And I hope other programs, I know so many programs across the country do that, and I hope more and more will continue to do so, because it can happen. But at the same time, if, you know, Diane actually asked me a question. She's like, now is having, you know, because she kind of moves during, is that going to affect our competitive score? And it's not, and it won't. But even if it did, it wouldn't matter. We accept Stephanie just the way that she is, and we accept every single student that comes in just the way they are. So even if it did make a difference, we would still include her, because that's more important than anything else, is making sure that every single student in our program that wants to participate and will show up and will put forth the effort has a chance to do that. I also think we need to make sure that we continue to not underestimate what Diane does. It's very reminiscent. I know Music for All has the Hughes Family Award every single year. Diane does that. That woman has put her life on hold this summer and fall to support her children. I don't think that can be overstated, and I don't think it can be overstated how incredible she is. She is at every single practice. So 12 hours a day during band camp, Diane was there. Every single minute of every single rehearsal. And it does take a village, but especially with a student as exceptional as Stephanie is, you have to have an incredible support system. And both Diane and her husband, Bob, you will not find 2 more supportive parents anywhere than them. And that is such a large contributing factor to her children's success, all 3 of her children.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you. That was wonderful. Diane, what would you like to say as we're closing this conversation?
Something that hit home with me that Mr. Aylward had told me earlier at the beginning, he said, this is music for all. And that just made it clear to me, okay, great, that's awesome. You know, that they are accepting it as music for all. And that to me just said it all and sums it up.
That's amazing. Stephanie, is there anything you want to say to us? I think it's so wonderful that you are such a great part of the band. Anything you want to say?
And say, would you like? You like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
What do you like a lot?
Band.
Band.
Yeah.
She said she likes band a lot.
Well, I do too. And I have to tell you, I am really jealous because you guys are sporting the coolest Miamisburg marching band shirts. Like, Steve, that's a whole home run on those. I love that you guys have those on.
I was very impressed too with Stephanie, like during marching band or during band camp. She did all the days too. So she she had the stamina to do it because it's something she really, really loves. And that's because of the staff and the students there that really support her.
Well, it's a fantastic environment that's been created there by everybody. Steve, thank you for leading that charge and for your whole staff and your whole band family that's making this kind of environment possible. Diane, thanks for all your hard work, as Steve said. And Stephanie, man, I hope you have such a fun season. And I am going to be watching as you help start the show. I cannot wait to see it. Awesome. Thank you guys for talking to me today.
Thank you so much.